Hi book nerds, Mary here. This is not a great angle for me, but I just left the gym, and so I've got you in my little car phone cup holder. I am a good speaker. Yeah. Anyway, I am about to get my hair trimmed. And yes, it was her choice to see me after the gym. She asked me to reschedule, and I said, look, if I come at that time, I will be right out of the gym. And she was like, come on, girl. So I love a hairdresser that's like that. Like, let's just get it done. And she doesn't care what I look like when I come in there. So we have been thinking about doing the Meg Ryan You've Got Mail hair. So I'll pop a picture on the screen of what I may ask for, but my hair is kind of thin and I'm not sure if that would work for me without a lot of work and a lot of product. So I'll see what she says. I may just get it trimmed. I've been slowly growing it back out from a very short pixie to a chin length bob, which was one of the haircuts that I really liked a few years ago. We'll see what we decide to do, but I had to tell you, I just finished listening to Words of Radiance, book 2 in the Stormlight Archive, and again, a Infinity Star read for me. It is one of my top 5 books of all time. There are many epic moments in that book that just, especially listening to it, your heart starts racing. I'll pop a spoiler alert on the screen, and when it goes away, there will be no spoilers. But yeah, so a few of there's so many in this book, so many of those moments, but a few of my favorites and most of these are towards the end of the book that I'm going to mention, but when Kaladin finally accepts who he is and he saves Elokar and really says the words, and Seal comes back to him, and he becomes the Knight Radiant that he is meant to be. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. That scene has always been one of those for me that just gets me. I could just listen to that scene if I needed to like feel something. And so that was one of the moments. To a lesser extent, the moment towards the end where Dalinar is talking to the Stormfather and he demands to speak the words. And he says, if I'm going to lead the Knights Radiant, I need to be a Knights Radiant. Knight Radiant. And he basically forces the Stormfather to accept him as a bondsmith. And there's something about that I love too. He was like, I am that man. I am the one that will be leading them. Give me the powers that are due to me. So yeah, I love that. And then of course Kaladin gets a little irritated when immediately Dalinar can suck in Stormlight and he activate his powers. He was like, it took me so much time to figure out how to really do that. And Dalinar's like, I got this. Anyway, I loved that. Earlier in the book, still towards the end, when Shallan summons Pattern as a sword, knife, whatever, and uses him to activate the Oath Gate. And then, of course, at the very end, when Yasna, my favorite character, finally comes back. Obviously, having read the books before, I knew she was still alive in Shadesmar. That's where she was, right? I knew she was still alive, so I had been anxiously waiting for her to come back on the page. It doesn't have it till the very end of the book, but Yasna is back in the mix, so that makes me happy. Obviously, I had that F Moash moment. I don't really curse, but he makes me want to. So yeah, F Moash. And I just, earlier in the book, when Kaladin gave him the blade, of course I know Moash is a piece of crap. And well, I was so upset, like, Kaladin, you should know better when he gave it to him, but it's beside the point. So to me, a book that can make you feel those emotions is an Infinity Star read. So yes, I have finished book 2 in the Stormlight Archive. I'm so happy. I would love to jump right into Oathbringer, but with my group, Brandon Sanderson Book Nerds, we are reading all of Sanderson's works in publication order. So I'm not even sure. I have to trying to remember if we will even get to Oathbringer in 26. I really want to just read it now. And yes, I'm an adult. I have free will. I could do that. But I'm going to try to follow the rules. We're reading one book a month in publication order. And so it may be a little bit before I get to Oathbringer, to my reread of Oathbringer. And yes, I have read Rhythm of War previously. I did not read Wind and Truth when it came out because we had already started our reread of his entire bibliography. I've seen some spoilers of Wind and Truth, and I don't care if I see spoilers, to be honest with you. In fact, I actively looked for a couple because for my anxiety, sometimes it helps me kind of know what to expect. So while I haven't read Wind and Truth, I know some of the big things that happen in that book, so I'm okay with spoilers. And I did see a psychologist talk about the fact that highly empathetic people, which I think I am with my anxiety, we sometimes need to know things ahead of time so that they don't overwhelm us, because I don't want to spend 1,000 pages plus of Wind and Truth being stressed out. I'd rather kind of know what happens and then enjoy the journey as much as I can. Does that make sense? I finished Words of Radiance. I'm so excited about that. Infinity Stars. And I actually, just in the last 10 minutes, started listening to the second book in Dungeon Crawler Carl, because so many of you said to listen to the audiobook of that series. I think it's called Carl's Doomsday Scenario. And I've listened to 10 to 15 minutes of that. And I don't know about this audiobook, guys. Princess Donut, I'm going to have to get used to the narration. And it doesn't help that I listen to it at 2 speed, because it sounds a little... I'm going to give it another hour or so at 2 speed and see what happens. Because it's a little out there, the audiobook at 2 speed. But yeah, that's it. That's my update. I'm so excited that I finished Words of Radiance. I did read a few pages of my other books yesterday, but I ended up being super busy yesterday with work-related items, catching up on some stuff. And then I did take down my Christmas decorations. I did not get as much read of my physical books as I wanted. That's okay. Hopefully this afternoon I can, although I do have some work I have to do today. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about is it the Powerball that someone won recently? I think it was 1.8 billion. And if you took the payout as something like 800 million, let's say you got 4% a year, that would be 32 million a year. I mean, man, can you imagine? You could do so much good in the world to not have to worry about things. Like, there's so many little things I'd like to buy. And I'm in a great position. Don't get me wrong. I am very thankful for my life. I have a good life. We have a roof over our heads. We live a good life. We have food on the table. No complaints. But to not have to think about money, can you imagine? Maybe it would be its own kind of stress now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. But 32 million a year, I'd like to try. Anyway, I need to go inside and get my hair done. Y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.